Hi, Joanna Hodorowska, Nutrition and Motion, Nutrition for Body, Mind, Spirit, and Sport. So I'm going to talk about some of the reasons why I think you should be going wheat-free. Not necessarily gluten-free, but just, that thing called pasta, beer, bread, pita bread, crackers, things like that are a lot of the typical foods that most people are eating, and especially athletes. They do a lot of pizza, bread, pasta, and these things might actually not be the best choice for athletes to eat. And it might not even be the best choice for a lot of people to eat. So I'm going to just kind of go over five reasons why I think you should go wheat-free. So, and this is all based on not just my own experience for me, but also my clients. And I've got one right now who has been actually doing really well with the wheat-free, except for those darn donuts once a week that somebody brings into the office. But beyond that, more energy. I mean, wheat is actually hard to digest for a lot of people. And if you're eating it every day, then you don't really realize it, but you might actually be tired because of the wheat that you're eating. The second thing is that the wheat is going to make the blood sugar fluctuate a lot more than potatoes. I know it seems kind of weird and counterintuitive because it's a carb, and a carb, who cares? It's all carbs. So if you're putting carbs versus carbs next to each other, they should all kind of work the same, but they don't. Wheat actually has the ability to spike the blood sugar a lot more than a potato. Potato, actually, if you eat the skins, the skins have an ingredient in them that actually are help to satisfy the appetite and actually keeps you from getting hungrier in the future, where the wheat that has so much gluten in it and so many other things in it that it basically spikes that blood sugar. The more you spike it, the more it drops, the more hungry you are, the more you eat, and then you end up eating the same thing, which is more pretzels, more cookies, more donuts, more bagels, more cereal, more all the stuff that's with wheat, and it just kind of keeps going up and down, and then you have issues with body weight because you're eating too much for what your expenditure is. And so for athletes, we don't want to be carrying an extra 5, 10, 15 pounds. We want to get rid of it. So maybe the wheat and taking that out is actually going to be a good thing. It helps to also with better recovery. So a lot of times you wake up and you're just stiff. Your hips are stiff, your shoulders are stiff, your neck are stiff. It's not that you have to go to the chiropractor, but maybe you do. It could be just that you're eating the wheat, and the wheat is actually causing inflammation, and inflammation causes pain and stiffness and achiness. So get rid of the wheat, and maybe the achiness, pain, then all the rest of it will kind of go away. It might take a couple weeks, it might take a month, but it really does make a difference when you take that wheat out in the level of achiness, stiffness, and your joints won't keep telling you what the weather is going to be like outside either. And then the last one is about digestion. I mean, a lot of times you go get blood work and maybe you have elevated liver enzymes. That could actually be the wheat and the amount of gluten. And gluten is like glue, and it kind of sticks to the intestinal tract, which is not a good thing. For some people, that becomes an issue with absorbing nutrients. And for athletes, you want to be able to digest the best you can and get the nutrients into the system so you can actually recover better. So you can actually go train today, tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Who needs a day off, right? You just want to keep training. So the gluten in wheat most of the time is what kind of gums up the intestinal tract. It can actually also trigger IBS issues and all sorts of other inflammatory issues in the gut. So taking the wheat out is going to actually help with so many things. And I know a lot of clients that I have, they also have like what they call the runner's trot. It could be that you're eating wheat the night before, you're pasta loading, and this is actually triggering the problem the next morning. You might want to switch to potatoes. You might want to switch to rice or quinoa or something else like that, which is going to be a lot more tolerable, and it's not going to trigger that inflammatory response in the gut, and it's not also going to trigger the inability for the body to actually ingest the nutrients. So if you want more information on how to start a wheat-free plan, obviously you need to call me. You need to call me, Joanna Hodorowska, Nutrition in Motion. You can first go either to my website, www.nutrition-in-motion or or you can just call me at 215-272-6774, and we can talk about what kind of symptoms you have and whether starting a wheat-free plan is actually the right thing for you. But if you don't try a wheat-free plan, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or a month, you might not feel as the best you can, and you're not going to have the energy output, you're not going to have the recovery, you're not going to become the best athlete that you want to be. So if you want to be faster than all your other friends, then you got to come in for a wheat-free plan. Joanna Hodorowska, Nutrition in Motion, nutrition for body, mind, spirit, and sport.